I am joined now by Peter Weber and Dustin Kendrick, who are launching their new podcast, Bachelors in the City. We're going to get into that and so much more today. But first, hi guys, how are you?
We're doing good. How are you?
Doing awesome. Yeah, good to be here.
You guys obviously met on Hannah Brown's season of The Bachelorette. Was it love at first sight for this friendship, for this bromance?
I would say so.
I always tell people, I'm a diehard Seattle Seahawks fan, and our quarterback Russell Wilson. So my first impression was I thought he was a Russell Wilson 2.0 lookalike. And so that's kind of, I think, like the first thing we ever talked about when we first met. I remember him, he had this, he's super sharp, had this blue suit on, but he had these white Converse. I'd never seen that look before. It was very, very dressed, but very casual. So yeah, it was kind of from the very beginning.
Yeah. And then
what do you remember of what Peter was wearing, Dustin? Do you have this?
Yeah. I know, he gives a great detail. But no, Pete was wearing his captain uniform.
A whole pilot uniform, yeah.
Yeah, I had the hat.
Pilot Pete was born.
That's, I guess so, yeah. That was the night.
Does it feel like that season, filming that was a long time ago, or does it still feel like it was yesterday? Because a lot has gone on for both of you since then.
Yes and no for both of those. Some days I'm like, man, that feels like yesterday. But then I'm like, that was a long time ago.
That season for me specifically, yeah, it feels like eons ago for sure. I can go back and obviously I have very vivid memories and great memories of it, but definitely feels like a long time ago. Just crazy to think of everything that's kind of transpired from that night. You never know, kind of going on that type of show and that experience, what it's going to kind of do for your life and where you're going to be in, 2 years later. So no way we could have predicted this, but here we are now.
Yeah, things have changed. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. 2 Bachelors in the City, hence the podcast name. Tell me about it. What can fans expect from this new project of yours?
I think the one thing we're really excited about is that we're both new to New York, and we're just going to be talking about our experiences in New York. It won't touch much on Bachelor things. I know a lot of people.
We'll do a little bit.
We'll do a little bit. We're not going to touch much on it. I think there's enough podcasts out there that, I don't want anyone to get annoyed with us thinking that we're just going to be talking about Bachelor stuff. But our experiences in New York, and so far since we've been here, we've had some fun, crazy experiences, and we want to share that. And what better way to engage with everyone else?
Yeah, and this city just obviously has so much to offer. Again, like Dustin said, we're both brand new to it. I'm from LA, he's from Chicago originally, and just kind of how this all came about and this whole roommate situation, is a good story behind that, and kind of inspiration for this podcast. And hopefully we can just inspire people to kind of fall in love with the city as much as we have. So it'll be fun.
Is there a weird pressure to talk about Bachelor stuff though on the other end? Because when things happen, I feel as though there's this weird thing that alums or former Bachelors or contestants have to release statements on things that have nothing to do with them. And I'm just wondering how that is right now, because that's kind of weird.
That's honestly, that you bring up such a great point. It's so true. It's like there's this expectation where you have to comment on stuff that literally has nothing to do with you.
How do you feel about that?
I don't. I probably should more, but I don't. But no, what I think what Dustin's trying to say, it's not going to be solely focused around The Bachelor. That's not what this is. Obviously, our audience is going to want to hear a little bit about that. We will do a little love segment for sure. Some dating advice, whether it's good or not. We'll give you our advice and have fun with that. But a little bit of Bachelor talk too, for sure.
We'll give our 2 cents and then we'll get out. We won't have to go overboard with it. Yeah.
What is the biggest thing you guys have learned about each other since this roommate situation has started? How long have you been living together now?
About 2 months. I've learned that this guy does not like to sleep. Wakes up way too early. I sleep in all the time, so I get to hear him, banging around in the morning, getting stuff done. We got this Roomba that he's always turning on, sweeping up the floor in the mornings.
So he's clean. That's good. Clean and active. This doesn't sound bad.
It's not bad. You know what's funny? It's the opposite. Whenever we've had dinner, maybe some wine, and a little hungover, he likes to get up early and starts banging around and cleaning things up. And
I don't get up early, but when I do get up,
you get up earlier than me.
I don't know about that.
Alcohol can change things.
We haven't had we've gotten along well. I don't think we've had a roommate fight yet. No. Which will probably come at some point. That comes with living with someone. But we got our dogs. Our dogs are living with us, so that's cool. It's been a lot of fun, honestly.
I don't know if it's anything new though, and because during quarantine, I knew you slept forever, anyways.
That's right. We spent a lot of time out, in Chicago during quarantine before this, so we're getting to know each other. But that's been good.
What about the dating stories? Do we have any nightmare dating experiences in New York yet? It's still early. We're still getting back out there. The bars are still closing late, but do we have any nightmare situations that have gone down yet?
Not yet for me.
Well, if anyone, you're gonna have the stories. I'm not really on the whole dating scene yet. I'm kind of taking it a little bit more casual. I'm meeting people for sure, but dating wise, not necessarily 100% there yet. But Dusty,
I mean, I hope I don't have no nightmare. Like, no.
you had to like shut off. You went on like Hinge. What was one of those dating?
I was going a little bit too many dates too quick.
Ooh.
It's expensive in New York too. Like shit. Like I had to damn near take out a loan for all these dates. That's a joke.
Hopefully the podcast gets good sponsors and we can keep up your dating for content for the podcast too. It's all one big cycle, right?
Yeah, he's gonna have a lot of the content for us. I remember when he first moved in here, it was like he was going on a date every single night. I was like, holy shit, bro! Like
That's excited to me.
But that's what the city offers you. It's so many people, you know.
Oh man.
There's yeah.
So we haven't found the one yet. What are you looking for, both of you? What are we looking for in the one these days?
I'm looking for the one that's just confident in herself, brings me value in my mental health and my goals in life. I don't know. I need someone there that's just going to be by my side and pushes me to do better in life. I mean, I've met a lot of great girls, but just haven't met the one yet.
Yeah, I would say for me, it's pretty simple. I want someone that the biggest quality that kind of stands out from them is just like their sense of just how sweet they are. An absolute sweetheart. Someone that has that is, someone that I feel like I can, put up with a lot of other stuff if they have just that genuine quality. And I would love to, build a life with someone like that. And, obviously someone's adventurous and has got a thirst for life like I do. Not necessarily, you can be a homebody a little bit, but not so much. Like I like to get out there and live and take advantage of this beautiful life we have. So someone that can kind of relate to me on those aspects, I think will be the one. And haven't found the one yet, but have all the faith in the world that she's out there.
I just haven't met you yet.
Yeah. Ooh, wow. Love that. Well, Peter, we obviously got to watch you try to find the one a lot over the last couple of years.
Probably too much. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry for putting you through that.
No, personally, as someone who covers the show, great content. So thank you for your service. Said the same thing to Matt James. But I have to ask you a few burning questions that I've had for you. Dustin, feel free to chime in, of course, too. Give me your opinion. I know you were probably watching, rooting for your boy.
On the hot seat. All right.
30 questions. I'm excited.
You're going in the hot seat. We're going all the way back. Peter, what do you remember about Hannah Brown showing up on your season of The Bachelor? Were you excited? Were you pissed? Were you annoyed? Were you all the above?
Yeah, wow. Good question. So I just was immediately just complete shock. So I remember the first time she showed up on my season was the first night with all the limos. And so we had gone through, 30 women had come. I had met all 30. And then one more limo shows up, and I don't know if they edited it this way. I think maybe they did, where she was the last person to come out. In real life, she actually was the last one to come out as well. But that limo showed up, and it sat there for like 15, 20 minutes. No one got out, and I'm just standing there. No one's coming up to me. Like obviously they don't show this part, but I'm just like they're like waiting. Like okay, like when's the door gonna open? Like what kind of surprise is this gonna be? No producers are like coming up to me or anything. And then I guess she was just, getting ready, gathering herself to like finally come out and do it. It was a big moment for her too, I guess. And obviously then she opened the door, and at first I was like, there's no way that's Hannah. Like there's no way. It was like, it looked like, I thought it was just this gorgeous girl. I was like, oh my God. And then I realized just her smile, that bright smile, I was like, that's Hannah Brown. Holy shit. And then
They're doing it. They're doing it for me.
They're doing it. I knew that somehow, some way they'd probably try to bring her back or something like that. And yeah, she came out, and I was just extremely just nervous and just like shocked and whatnot, but excited to see her too. And then I remember, it was kind of like a little emotional for me too, because she did like a really sweet gesture. I remember I gave her wings the first, when I first met her the first night. So it was kind of this crazy, full circle thing now where I'm on the other side in front of the same house where we first met, and she's giving me back the wings that I gave her. It was just a really sweet gesture by her. She didn't have to do that, but I appreciated it. And then, I remember just being so confused, and I was like, should I like bring her, like ask her to come in? Like, I don't know what to do right now. What's like rude or not, or like respectful to the women inside. But she ended up obviously leaving. And then I saw her on the next group date, and that was a whole other kind of fiasco. But yeah, that was that.
Was there any part of you that was like, thought she would actually like stick around or like be on this, because it's kind of a hard thing to ask someone to do. But obviously, if they're presenting her like she's here and she keeps showing up, you had to probably think, all right, there's something I should be doing here or pursuing here.
True. Yeah. I mean, I was an idiot. Producers were probably hating me, but I literally like, I think they edited this part out. Like, I was like, I'm going to leave the show. Like, if you want to give this a shot, like, I'll leave right now. And she's like, you can't do that, Peter. Like, you're the Bachelor, you signed a contract. I'm like, no, like, I'll do it. Like, what are they going to do to me? And I don't know what I was thinking that day. I was very, very confused, but I don't know. I am very in touch with my feelings, right? And I know when I'm feeling something and when I'm not, and I was just kind of going off of what I was feeling there.
Feeling something up.
Maybe I was a little too impulsive. I'm not gonna lie, but
imagine you just blew up the whole first episode, like you just left. That would have been amazing.
That's a wrap.
That would have been, yeah. I guess that would have been a record for the shortest season there. But yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of what I was feeling there, and obviously what ended up happened. But yeah, because I asked her to come to the house, and she didn't know if she wanted to do that, and that's when I offered, okay, well, maybe I'll just leave, but then that didn't happen, so.
Didn't happen. Do you have any sort of friendship with her or anything now, or no, totally separate lives?
Yeah, no, our lives are kind of, separated there. I'm super happy for her. I see she's in an awesome relationship, and she seems super happy, so that just makes me super happy. And she's an amazing person, and I got nothing but great things to say about her, so.
Love it. All right, that was a real burning question I had. My next one is about Queen Barb. Yes. Killing it on Cameo.
There we go.
Okay, so we also kind of saw this on Matt's season, which I know you were in and out of watching because I saw you guys at the finale, but you did see most of the finale as far as I know. And we had his mom kind of seemingly pivoting him, maybe don't get engaged, this process is kind of crazy. For you, from a lead perspective, how much, because they also showed it to us, like your mom kind of, told you to pick Hannah Ann over Madison, whether that was true or not. But how much does the parent presence like affect that decision going into it? Is it like edited to be like, oh, they hate this person? Or do you feel like that really does play a huge part in the decision you make?
I mean, yeah, for sure. Listen, editing the show can make a lot of things seem a certain way. I'm just unfortunate. That's just the way it is. That's the power of editing. So I can't really speak on, Matt and his mom's take of how much was edited there or not. For me personally, family to me is just so important, and I trust my family with everything. And so, when you get to that point, at the end of this crazy journey, the entire time, you literally only have the producers that you're talking to. You're not talking. You don't have your phone. You have no access to talking to your friends, your family, anyone outside of the show. It's just producers. And while you do get a great relationship with them, and you get close to them, and you trust them, they're also producers, and that's their job. They're making TV. So while they can have your best interests at heart, they can also have their job. That's, their number one priority. And so for me, finally getting to see my family, it's like, okay, finally I get to see someone now that I fully can trust. I can open up to, I can ask for their opinion and see what they think. And I know I'm going to get it 100%, whether I like it or not, I'm going to get 100% truth. So that's kind of just what happened with me. My family, there's no BS with my family. We call it like we see it. And that's one thing I love about my family, and they got my back, I got their backs. And so I wouldn't say that my family necessarily that parents try to direct you a certain way. I guess kind of, they're just giving you their advice and they want the best for you. And I guess, you could say the same thing was done with Matt and his mom. And
just gets real. Like you get out of the bubble.
Yeah, it gets real. It's the first time where you're finally okay, you just know that this is an honest conversation. So yeah, I definitely think it was unfortunate, kind of, I don't know, my take on what I think you saw Matt's headspace kind of definitely shift. And I mean, I probably had a little bit of that as well, just because it's so confusing. There's so much going on and it's all happening so fast. So
Dustin, does Barb approve of the roommate-ship with Peter?
Absolutely.
Oh, my mom loves that shit.
Yeah.
I love Sophie.
Me and Barb message every day on Instagram. Yeah.
I love it. I mean, she kind of got to become her own polarizing figure in her own right in Bachelor Nation. Was that weird for you guys? When that was all playing out in the after the final rose and everything? And I see she embraced it, and I feel like she's totally, confident in her. She was just looking out for you. But was that a weird thing to have your mom be memed and everyone talking about your family?
I mean, yeah, I don't think anyone kind of expects that going into it, but I mean, I love my mom so much, and I'm just so proud of her. And yeah, I never would have expected her to get such a huge fan base coming from this and all this support and whatnot. But she's doing great. She's got, this community that she does these lives on Instagram every Tuesday.
I've seen them.
It's freaking awesome. And she's good at it. And I'm like, you need to get your own podcast. Like she just is great at that and connecting with people. But no, I mean, I don't think anyone could have expected her to just kind of rise up so fast and get such a following, but I'm happy for her for sure.
Maybe you guys should have her on Bachelors in the City.
Oh, you already know we got an episode for my mom.
Yes, dream guests. Before I go back I'll give you a break for a second in my burning questions because I'm not done, but dream guests for the podcast.
I would say.
I didn't think about this.
I didn't
Like a dream guest?
Yeah.
Wow. You put it on us with this one. Man.
It's Monday morning. I'm making you start thinking.
Dream guest.
Besides Barb, of course.
I don't think, of course, yeah. I don't know if he's even associated with New York. And we may have guests, that aren't associated with New York. But I would say Tony Robbins would be a dream guest for a podcast, just because he's someone cool. I look up to so much, and I've just read so many of his books, and just really admire him and everything he's about. Just so full of knowledge, and seems like a great dude. So that'd probably be my dream guest right now.
That would be a good one. I'm trying to think. Man, this is tough. I don't know. Maybe someone. I'll say that. Yeah. Blake Griffin, that would be pretty cool. He just moved out here playing for the Nets.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
Yeah, I feel like any New York athlete would be, you guys could share stories between Bachelor dating contestant, like post life when you're the Bachelor contestant and being an athlete. I feel like between all of you, you'd have some stories to tell.
There you go. Actually, to bring out or ask James Harden. We're out with James Harden. We weren't with him.
Subtle flex. Just out with James Harden.
We weren't with him. I'm not saying that.
I wish.
I wish. That'd be awesome.
James.
Who the hell are these guys?
James, tell us your best dating story. Okay, what was more painful, filming your breakup with Hannah Ann or having to watch it back in front of everyone on After the Final Rose?
Oh, wow. You got some questions. Never been asked that before.
Hell yeah. I always am trying to come up with questions. I feel like you've probably been asked a million of these before, but not on my perspective. So I have to ask you again.
I mean, both obviously were incredibly hard, but I would say the actual act of it, of, doing it that day, like that was just such a stressful time, like in my life, that don't want to ever, kind of go back to. Like that was it was tough. And the last thing that I ever wanted to do was hurt someone, like that. That's not what I'm about. And, I put myself in that situation and I made these decisions, and, I'm not blaming anyone except myself, but definitely was confused, and there's a lot of, pressure and manipulation that kind of goes through that whole process. And just knowing that I was going to hurt her, like Hannah Ann literally, and I said it, like Hannah Ann is the sweetest soul you could ever meet. Like, it's nothing about that's fake. Something, it may come off sometimes. No, it is 100% real. That is her, like the sweetest soul. And she, that just knowing that I was going to hurt her absolutely just tore me up. And I was not okay for a while after that. But hey, it's, that's in the past now, and we're looking forward. And obviously watching that live too was not easy, but doing it in person was the worst.
Ari Leindeck Jr. has said that he agreed to film his breakup with Becca when he was going to switch back to Lauren, because they told him it was going to give her a good edit, make her the Bachelorette. Did they try to sell you that with the Hannah Ann? Because filming that must have been very did you have a choice in filming the breakup, or was it just to complete the story?
So we have what's called they're happy couples. So after you finish filming, because you don't get to see each other right in public while the show is airing. So you only get every 3 weeks or so, they try to get it to where, it would usually be out in LA. And they'd fly Hannah Ann out to LA, or whoever the Bachelor couple is, they get a house, Airbnb, you're way there. You don't leave for 3 days. And so that was, I think our second one, maybe second or third one. And, I knew what was most likely going to happen. Again, I kind of wanted to just see her in person before it was 100. The producers knew there was a good chance it was going to happen, and all that. Hannah Ann obviously didn't know, but they didn't tell me. They weren't directing me you need to do it now or not. That was all my choice. I was the one that was calling those shots. But I mean, also, I kind of understand what Ari was saying. I haven't heard that before. I definitely went through my mind, listen, I feel horrible what's going on right now with Hannah Ann. If there's any chance that this can, help her go and find her person then through being the Bachelorette, I would love to kind of promote that and push that for her as well, because, she obviously deserves it. So I could see where he's coming from with that.
And then my last question about your ending, obviously they kind of tried to imply maybe he's going to get back with Madison, and whatever. Was there ever any like real possibility of that? Or was it more so just like you guys were going through the motions? It was a lot. I know you were together for like 2 days. I don't even know if that was fair to say or if the media just kind of blew that up and was like 2-day breakup. I don't know if that was our fault or what happened there.
Yeah, that people like they kind of blew that one up a little bit. We never started dating. We weren't in a relationship. You know, we spoke for a couple of days after that, just trying to. That was a whole whirlwind, right? There was so much going on, so we were just trying to figure things out, and just very kind of mutually and cordially just decided that, you know, we weren't going to pursue this going forward. And so that's when, you know, we made like a statement a couple of days, but people like to say that, yeah, I went from that relationship to like, we weren't in a relationship. We were just talking and figuring things out. So.
And then of course, Kelly, obviously we see those pictures. Dustin, you were in those pictures in Chicago. I remember like it was yesterday. It gave me my first quarantine entertainment, seeing all of you guys out in Chicago and being like, oh, Peter's with Kelly, Dustin, they're all there. How exciting for all of us fans with no show to watch anymore.
We shut the city down that day.
Yeah, we started getting blamed. The whole Riverwalk got shut down. And like, oh, it's Peter, Dustin, and Kelly's fault.
It was like the one nice day that we've had in Chicago. So when it's a nice day, everybody's been cooped up. Everybody went outside, went on a walk. Everybody, like the whole city. But yeah, we got blamed for it.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm sure people were like coming up to you like, oh my God.
Yeah, and then they shut that down. Like the city of Chicago was like, oh, no one can go on the Riverwalk, no one could walk the lakefront.
Literally the very next day, we're like, oh boy.
Everyone blamed
the
us.
power.
Yeah.
Right.
That was also before like everyone was being told to wear masks and stuff. So like no one really knew what was going. It was very early in everything, I feel like. So no one knew the rules. So you probably were getting some hate for things that maybe we weren't even like didn't know the rules yet.
We just wanted to get some fresh air. That's it.
Yeah, we've been cooped up in the apartment for a while. I mean, everyone had been, so.
Yeah.
But that was crazy.
Well, Kelly kind of suggested when you guys were together that maybe the producers didn't give her, she felt like maybe not a fair shot with you on the show, and maybe that's why you guys didn't end up together. Was that something that you ever felt accurate to afterwards? Like, because you, obviously it was probably a lot you had met her before, and then people were trying to speculate that this was all planned, which I know probably wasn't, obviously wasn't. But was there any sort of feeling that you had when, you know, because she kind of expressed that maybe she didn't get a fair shot on the show with you? Or do you think anything would have changed how your ending would have gone?
Yeah, totally, 100%. She's 100% right on all that. You know, it was unfortunate just kind of how, I guess, her kind of journey went through it. You know, in the beginning, it was kind of all this momentum, right? Because we had met and it was a lot of excitement, and obviously, you know, there was a connection there from the very beginning. And so just me looking back on it, like I remember, if I kind of had to describe like how my relationship with Kelly was specifically on the show, like started off super hot, like super great. You know, definitely like at the very top for me. And then it was like, she just started kind of like, I stopped seeing her, you know, I honestly, that's just as simple as it is. Like I wouldn't get as much time with her. And, you know, unfortunately that's, you know, producers have a lot of control with that. It just started getting less and less and less. And, you know, I remember like trying to, on our one-on-one in Costa Rica, we had like 2 seconds of off mic time. We were walking in this hot tub, like in this waterfall thing. And I just was like, because I had heard that she wasn't necessarily cooperating the best with production. I was like, listen, you got to just trust me and like, do what they're saying. Like, I want to see you more. I want to spend more time with you, and they're not letting it happen. So you just got to like make them happy. So, you know, we can give this a shot. And then she started doing that more. And then I kind of started seeing her a little bit more as well. And, but yeah, I definitely, I don't think she got the fairest chance or whatnot on the show, if I'm being honest. And I think, yeah, production, they would say the exact same thing, to be honest. So
was there any part of you when you guys started talking after the show that was like worried about giving your relationship a shot because of the backlash or the hate of like, oh, he's with his fifth place, whatever?
I don't know. There's been so many, you know, opinions of kind of how my season went or what I've done. At some point you kind of just like, you put all that, you just like let it go. You forget about it. You just got to live your life. And if, you know, people are going to agree with you, disagree, that's great. But you got to do you. And so I think that was one really cool thing I respect about Kelly a lot, was just that, you know, she did a really good job. She had a lot of confidence in herself, just getting into that relationship. Like, listen, it's a TV show. Okay. It's not real life. You spend maybe 30 hours with the person that you end up with at the end of the day. Not to say it can't work. It can. And it provides great entertainment, and it's a beautiful story if it does work, but it's not real life. And so the first 2 days, 3 days that Kelly and I spent together, I spent more time with her than I'd ever spent with any girl on the show. So it was different. People want to compare like the show and how that went to actually how you date in real life, and they're just two completely different things. So that's how we just went about it.
Well, Dustin, as someone who knows Peter in real life, what is the biggest misconception that people might think about him from the show and what we do see online?
I don't know. I think everyone's perception of Pete is, well, she is America's sweetheart, but like Pete's got a fun side to him that I don't think everyone's seen, and he's got a.
we had to watch him cry for so many weeks. That's why.
What's that?
I said I feel like we watched you like cry for half the time.
I was just like, I feel like I see what you're saying. I feel like I was a mess on the show the entire time. So I can see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when they see you on the show, you were like so much drama, this and that, and I don't know. I think what people don't know about Pete, he's just like a fun to be around, a fun guy, adventurous, like just like let's go 0 to 100. Through this podcast, I'm excited that people get to see the real pilot Pete that I get to see every day.
It'll be a good way for I think our personalities to kind of come out a little bit more than a show maybe allows.
My one last Kelly question, because obviously you've broken up. Breaking news, everyone, they broke up. I'm just kidding. So she's kind of said that there was some like deal breaker situation. I know you probably aren't going to tell me what it is, but from your perspective, 100% done. You and Kelly for good. It's over.
Listen, yeah, it obviously sucks. Like it was a really great relationship that I had with Kelly. And like, truly like just learned so much, and I am so grateful to have been able to date her. It's just, I think one of those things that not every relationship's gonna last. I think we dated for like 10 months, and I'll always look back on those 10 months and with such fondness. But I don't know, I think we just got to a point where we had some differences and whatnot, and that's okay. And it wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't. We just kind of grew apart a little bit. I think for me, honestly, like I kind of needed to, like, I need to be just kind of single right now. I need to be by myself, and I have put so much time into like chasing relationships, right, for the last 2 years, and everything's gone through that. So this is like a really good period for me, I think, just to focus on myself and work on myself and be okay on my own. But I mean, I have so much love in my heart for her. I do. And I always will. So, I honestly like truly just wish the absolute best for her. And, that's that.
No concerns about bumping into each other in the city now? She's still moving here?
I think she still is. Again, yeah, we don't talk, but, listen, if we do, I'll be okay with it. I would love to see her, and it's not gonna. I mean, it might be a little weird, obviously, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
Dustin, do you have any friendship with Kelly still?
Yeah, me and Kelly are still friends. I haven't talked to her in a while though. I guess it's just kind of like, man, I kind of got in the. I don't know. I feel like Kelly's my friend. I did kind of feel like I lost a friend a little bit, but I know she's always like we're still cool. I got to give them their space, I guess. I guess it's good for me to kind of back out in the moment until healing is done.
Yeah, I think it just takes a little bit of time right now for some space. And I guess it's tough for you, yeah, because they're really good friends. So, but
I try not to get in it. I don't want to get into anything.
He's a great support system, though, man. It is so good to have like a roommate you can like count on and rely on, like when you're going through like some sad times or whatnot, or you're in the dumps. But yeah, we'll see. I honestly would love to have a friendship with Kelly if that's ever possible. If she does come to the city, that would be, in my opinion, the best case scenario.
That's nice. What was crazier for you? The theory that fans thought you were dating your producer, or finding out Victoria Fuller was in Iowa with Chris Soules?
Oh, wow.
I bet you haven't been asked that either.
I haven't been asked that either. Those are
good questions.
You do. Those are both pretty crazy. Yeah, the whole thing, dating Julie, that was always kind of funny. Julie and I are obviously very close. We spent a lot of time together on the show. So that was kind of just like a fun little thing. Everyone up to like Rob Mills, I remember one of the guys from ABC was like playing into it and just keeping people.
They're good at that.
They are very good at that. So I would say that one.
Guaranteed Karma. Tell me about it.
Guaranteed Karma. Yeah, I'm excited. One of the reasons I moved out here, Pete talked me into moving to New York, saying, "Hey, this is a perfect time for you to try to grow Guaranteed Karma in New York. If you can do it in New York, you can do it anywhere." But Guaranteed Karma is a platform where you could easily find areas to volunteer in your community. Um, After you volunteer, you get perks from local businesses, hence Guaranteed Karma.
Guaranteed every time.
So yeah, we're working with some organizations here in New York, some businesses. Um, One cool one that we just got is what's the helicopter company again?
Flying Ion.
Fly Nyan. So you volunteer, you get 50% off on a tour around Manhattan in a helicopter, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest things we've done in the city so far. Literally, you're hanging outside of a helicopter. There's no doors.
Very cool.
Oh my God.
So yeah, we're trying to bring high engagement to these areas that need help, and high engagement to local businesses since they've had a bad year with 2020. So we just want to help the community in all ways and have a good time and connect with new people, and yeah, that's what it's all about.
All right. How can people get involved?
They could follow Guaranteed Karma on Instagram at Guaranteed Karma, or go on the website guaranteedkarma.com and easily sign up. It's here in New York and in Chicago. Again, yeah, come sign up. You never know who's going to be there to volunteer. Got this guy, got some other cool people that want to help out as well. So
yeah, it's a fun community that we're kind of building here in the city so far. So it's a great way to give back, and you feel really good doing it, and it's a lot of fun, honestly, too.
Yeah,
Guaranteed Karma. I love that name.